Douglas Skinner is the AVBOB Poetry Competition's English editor. A very special competition, this, which kicked off at the beginning of August and will run until the end of November. The AVBOB Poetry Competition is probably one of the largest competitions that we have, and very specially allows poems in all 11 official languages. Good morning and welcome to Upfront, Douglas. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm very well indeed, and how are you?
Excellent, thank you. Douglas, please give us a bit of a picture for those of us who aren't familiar with the poetry competition of the breadth of its involvement, or one's involvement.
I'm the English editor. The competition, I reckon, is unique in the world. It's run wholly online over 4 months each year, from August through November, and it's run in 11 languages, which I've not come across anywhere else in the world, that particular combination of aspects. Right. So that's all the official languages of the country that are involved. And each language has an editor, and every year an anthology is produced with all those languages included, with the winners and with various commissioned poems from poets around the country.
Fantastic. So what are some of so how long has the competition been running, first of all?
The first year was 2017.
Okay.
And that was what they expected would happen in terms of the numbers of entries was way exceeded. It went well beyond expectations. And so the sponsors of the project, AVBOB, and the marketing agency, Brand et al., obviously got together and said, well, this needs to continue to run. It's doing a good thing in the country. It's successful. People have responded. And a lot of good poems came in. And so I think the decision was made to keep it going in 2018 and 19 and then 18 and then this year again.
Fantastic. I mean, I think it's quite a special thing that they also include, they pay homage to the Khoisan languages, and they included some poems from using the First Peoples language. I'm just curious, how easy is it to enter? Because given the fact that it's online, it should be accessible to most people. Yeah.
Yes, it is. If you Google AVBOB Poetry Project or AVBOB Poetry Competition, it'll bring you up to the website. And the website is easy to navigate around. It says on the opening screen it says how to enter. You go to the poem library. You can read all of the poems that have been accepted onto the poem library thus far, and that's another aspect that's I've yet to come across elsewhere, is that whenever you have a poem that an editor regards as good enough for the project and good enough for the poem library online, the poet is paid, and they're either paid in their bank or they're paid through time on a telephone. So it's made accessible to all aspects of society, all the layers of society.
I'm with you.
Anyone can enter, and once you're onto the website, it's very easy to navigate. If you wish to enter, you register your name and all of your details, and off you go. You read through the rules, read through the library to see what's been accepted already, and this is in all 11 languages.
I'm with you. Yeah. Look, I mean, it's an interesting partnership, AVBOB and poetry. They seem to highlight the common experiences of all human beings, of birth, death, and everything in between as the reason for backing this. Is that what's represented in the theme being "I wish I'd said"?
The theme "I wish I'd said" is really a point of departure, because that captures in very few words. In a nutshell, it captures that sense of melancholy, looking back on the kinds of things you feel and say when you lose somebody, and so forth. So it captures that essence. And the poems in the poem library, when one reads through them, you'll see that they go in a great circle around that subject.
Yes.
And intersect with that subject in all manner of ways. The four categories in which you can enter are birth, death, hope, and love.
Okay.
And when you look at those four categories, you can see that they're all involved in the life cycle of human beings. So the poem library represents a resource for anyone in South African society if they need cheering up, or they wish to address a loved one in a particular way, or if they wish to read a poem at a funeral. And incidentally, that's actually happened. I happened to be in email contact with a poet from Cape Town.
Yes.
And she said that 3 strangers had used poems of hers from the poem library at funerals. So it's actually already happened. That resource is working. Thanks to AVBOB, of course.
Of course. So what's great is that on the website it gives some pretty clear editorial guidelines. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot that's forbidden. For example, no matter how much one might want to express themselves with an erotic nature or politically inflammatory poem, that is not allowed. And then it also gives you some perspective of, as you say, I wish I'd said is the point of departure. And any style of poetry is allowed, which is really great. And then you've got some guidelines on the length as well.
Yeah, I think it's a natural thing to try and exclude what is controversial in society, because then you get a million views, and concentrate on what is consolatory or emotionally pertinent in terms of birth and love and the sorts of sense of feelings that you might have in hope, and then really all of the need of people who are bereaved in terms of consolation and remembrance.
I think
it's terribly easy to get into all of the subjects that we argue about every day, all of us.
Sure.
But the newspapers take care of that, and the radio stations take care of that.
Yes, we do. No, I hear you, but this is bringing it back to the human experience, which is very special.
It is. Each one of us has a heart, and I speak not just physically, but emotionally. And the hope is that this resource is aimed at the heart. It's aimed at helping people. It's aimed at providing a resource for people that anyone can use in their moments of need. I'm
with you.
And their moments of joy too.
Yeah, indeed. Well, exciting. So if anyone would like to participate, they should just go to www.avbobpoetry.co.za. The competition runs until November 30th this year. What happens thereafter?
Once the competition is closed, then the editors have finished off processing all of the last poems, because there's usually a bit of an overhang as people leave it till the last minute, and entries pour in the last 2 days, which is a bit overwhelming.
Yes.
But once the editors are finished, then they sit down and they consider all of the poems that in their language they've accepted, and they look for the best 10 or 20, and then they whittle that down to the best 3 or 4, or whatever the prizes given in that year will be. And out of those, they have to elect a winner. And the winner is rewarded with a very substantial prize.
What is that?
10,000 rand.
Oh, fantastic.
And that's a big thing. You don't find that all around the world.
You're quite right. Is there a winner per language, or is there an overall winner?
Per language.
Oh, that's impressive.
Each language is treated as unique and important.
Oh,
so each language gets that prize. And then once that's been decided, an anthology gets underway. And that, as I mentioned, the anthology from this year is called I Wish I'd Said Volume 2. And the anthology in the first year was called I Wish I'd Said. And in that anthology, all 11 languages are represented. The winners, poems that are commissioned from established poets in the country.
Yes.
And everything is, all the poems are included, plus translations into English of all the poems from all the different languages.
Impressive.
Okay. And, so it's English, Afrikaans, isi Ndebele, isi Xhosa, isi Zulu,
Setswana, North Sotho, South Sotho.
Sepedi, Sesotho, Setswana, Siswati, Chivenda, and Xitsonga.
Fantastic.
And then also included in the anthology, as you hinted at, is a poem from one of the Khoisan languages.
Yes.
And in this particular year, it was from the Zam, who were the Cape Bushmen.
Mm. Fantastic.
So it's an extraordinarily representative and inclusive project.
Mm. Excellent, Douglas. We will definitely direct people to that website. As it says on the website, the competition closes in 109 days, 12 hours, 33 minutes, and 37 seconds, 36, 35. Get over there and enter right away. Thanks again, Douglas.
One last thing.
Yes.
If anyone wants to get hold of the anthology, if they go to www.naledi online,
yes,
because it's Naledi Publishers that publish it, they could find it from there.
Oh, excellent.
Or they could call Naledi on 078 648 8616. Or ultimately they could get their local bookshop to order it for them from Naledi.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Douglas. Have a good one.
Okay. All right.
All the best to all of you who want to get into that competition. That's Douglas Skinner, who was one of the editors. He's the English editor of the AVBOB Poetry Project. Are you a poet? Do you like to put down your thoughts and about love, life, death, and everything in between?